period. So I just think there was really no there was nothing said about it for real, not for real. To Time said stuff, but nobody else cared. I just want to know, like, does it depend on who got doxxed? Because Bella, Diamond's not the only person on this app that has been doxxed for no reason. I dox people just cause sometimes. I dox people if I'm having a boring day. I dox people if you're cool with another person. I dox people if I catch you tapping the screen of another bitch that I don't like. Sometimes I just dox, and those people just have to deal with it. They get treated like they're nobodies. Nobody's hosting no lives for them. Nobody's holding me accountable for them. Nobody's doing anything when it comes to them. But when certain people get doxxed, when certain people's kids get discussed, it's a problem. There's like a huge outrage. So I guess my frustration with this situation is not me trying to discredit what Diamond went through, but what about everybody else that went through the same thing? You get
okay, so I would like to answer that. So right now, as we see in the audience, we have people actively laughing at what Heartbreaker is saying. And those people who are laughing is the people who fuel Heartbreaker to continue to do the things that she do. Because to them, they consider it funny. Because it's not them. Okay? So for the people that laugh, let's see your address get posted in someone's backdrop and see if you'll still be laughing.
Based on this new information, I have another question. So if Diamond and Time had a truce and then Heartbreaker went on to Diamond's platform and doxed Time, should Diamond also apologize to Time? And is Diamond also wrong for allowing that to happen?
Y'all can hang up an apology from Diamond because you ain't getting that.
Girl,
Somebody else can answer the second part.
You see how she gaslit Braid? You seen how she gaslit Braid when he tell her he was uncomfortable with her calling him Manny's sister, and he said, "You handling that case today, Bella?" And she said, "Well, why didn't you tell me that you had a problem?" Like, girl, you just should know. That's the man. You should just already know. So yeah, that's why it's hard for me to really give a damn here today.
I'm hollering because nobody believed me. This is hilarious. Girl, keep doing your shit.
Period.
All right. So the bottom line, I do have a question for the jurors. Was T ever going to tell Diamond it was her behind that page? Did T have any intentions on telling Diamond herself that it was her all along? Posey?
Hell no, she was taking that shit to her grave.
For the haters?
Will you repeat? What's the question, please? I'm sorry. I was writing
T
something
going
down.
to tell Diamond it was her behind the Pink Panther page?
Come back to me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Mosey? Okay, I don't think Mosey know they are in the panel. Most hated?
Yes, she was gonna tell her.
I don't think that T was going to tell her, and the reason is because based on something that T said, is she felt like when they squashed everything, that they just squashed everything. And so I think that she was like, Diamond did stuff to her, she did stuff to Diamond, so therefore it was just squash. So I don't think that she was ever going to tell her.
Okay. HB?
I'm going to say no, but I'm also going to ask if Time can answer this question in the comments. T, were you ever going to tell her?
Princess?
It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to say no. And the only reason that I'm going to say no is because I did hear Time say in a live that it was something hard for her to let her know, which means I don't think she ever would have gained the courage to tell her. But then again, I can't speak for what would happen in the future, but I'm going to say no.
Okay, so T did answer the question in the audience. She said she thought about it, but she don't know. For the haters, we're coming back to you for the final vote.
No.
Okay, so 5 out of 6 jurors said no. Okay, now I'm gonna leave it up to the audience to make the final decision. Do y'all think T-Time was going to tell Diamond it was her behind the Pink Panther page? Smiley face yes, sad face no. When you are not voting, please continue to run the likes up. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the gives. Thank you for subscribing. We are here every Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate your participation. Let's get these votes in. The question is, was T going to tell Diamond it was her behind the Pink Panther page? Smiley face yes, sad face no. We have less than 10 seconds, and then I'm going to pose another question. All right, 536 people said no. Next question. After listening to the audio and eyewitnesses coming up speaking to their experience, okay? The question is, was T bullied by the mafia? Poozy,
Yes.
for the haters,
Absolutely.
most hated,
No.
nay,
Yes, based on what I've heard today.
HB,
Yes.
princess.
Yes.
All right, one moment.
Hell motherfucking nah. Hell nah.
Okay,
Hell
so
nah. She wasn't
never
bullied.
know.
Didn't nobody bully her motherfucking ass.
All right, so we have 5 out of 7 jurors that said yes, T was bullied. Again, I'm going to pose the question to the audience. Do you believe T was bullied by the mafia? Smiley face yes, sad face no. This is interesting. The question that is being posed: do you believe that T was in fact being bullied by the mafia? Smiley face yes, sad face no. That was the question. And we have less than 10 seconds for that vote. All right, so 423 people concluded that T was bullied by the mafia.
Ella, may I reiterate that was the reason why, one of the main reasons why I did, in fact, protect T, because we had that mentioned in that back end conversation. And she was honest with me, and I feel like she was honest then. And I still feel like she was honest now.
Okay, my next question that I want to pose to the audience only. Do y'all think Diamond knew the mafia might have been harassing Tea Time? Smiley face yes, sad face no. Do y'all think Diamond knew the mafia might have been harassing Tea Time? Did she know? Let's get these votes in. I have two more questions to pose pertaining to the case. All right, so we have 467 that said yes. Next question. Do you think, and thank y'all for the gifts, do y'all think Tea Time is capable of being a part of the opposition page's audience only? Is Tea Time capable of being a part of the opposition? Smiley face yes, sad face no.
Acting like some fools.
This is why I'm glad I be having these votes.
This is tighter than my coochie, girl.
You know it ain't tight. Nah, I don't know how y'all feel like she couldn't do it. Oh, sorry, HB, I forgot you sent me that money. I don't know how y'all feel like she couldn't damn do it when she was hiding for 2 damn years. Y'all gotta use our damn brain.
No,
Quit being a
it's
fool.
okay, Trina. This is why I asked. This is exactly why I like to ask the audience questions to see where everybody had at. Less than 10 seconds, and we have 311 people that says she's not capable of being part of opposition. Because that was the whole purpose of Chef saying why she couldn't speak to her character pertaining to it. Last but not least, final question. Do y'all think the mafia currently bully other creators? Smiley face yes, sad face no. Is the mafia currently bullying other creators? Smiley face yes, sad face no. Thank y'all for the 400 likes. We are here every Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But can we post because this is Tea Time versus Chef? Can you post some more questions about their dynamic in this situation?
Absolutely. We have less than 10 seconds. And 388 says yes. The next question. Did Chef mention Tea Time being Pink Panther as an attempt to deflect from the original conversation that was being had? Smiley face yes, sad face no. Did Chef use
He was trying to
that
deflect.
to get off the conversation that was being talked about originally?
Listen, man, I gotta get back to my desk. Y'all acting foolish.
Less than 10 seconds. Okay, 369 people said yes, Chef did use that as a deflection. One moment, please. We do have tea time. Hello, tea time.
Hey, I was just wondering, somebody asked in the comments, Proxy actually, are you going to play the second clip where what I actually was saying was true?
Okay, so playing the second clip. Is it on the same page? So hold on, let me tell you. It was on the page
Yes, it's
Kwame.
me, guys. Hello, everybody. Hey, Uncle Bernie.
Where's part two of the clip at so I can just play it directly?
Oh, I don't know. Proxy asked it in the comments earlier. It does, if we're talking about this, if the case was just Pink Panther, then it was just Pink Panther. But if we're talking about the dynamics of what happened, that should be played because it would, in fact, show that what I said in those text messages were true.
Okay. So just to make sure we are clear as to why the case was brought to court today,
Hmm.
the case was brought to court because the question was about character. You was asking why she chose not to speak up when your character was in question. And she gave the reason as to why, which centered around Pink Panther and not necessarily about the text messages between you and HB.
No, between her and HB. No, between me and her.
Well, you and Chef about HB. So we could.
Okay, well, I can understand that. But, if she felt like my character was off, she was the one pulling addresses, she was the one getting people information, texting on the back end, pulling strings. I did something before she met me. So if my character's questioned, both of our characters are questioned. I did things before I met her. She did things as we were dealing with each other, and I didn't even know she was doing them.
And
So,
I'm glad you said that, T. So with understanding that you both have done things, and again, her knowing what she's done on her own, why would you expect her to speak on your character if she know that there may be a flaw there that cannot pretty much back you up?
it wasn't about that. It was about me setting her up. The opposition page wasn't the question. She knew I wasn't setting nobody up. She knows I don't do that. Did I make a page to defend myself? Yes. But as far as the HB setting her up with Bryson and stuff, Chef knew I wasn't doing that. It wasn't about being opposition. That wasn't the question. Her not defending me being opposition, that was fine. It was when they were saying I was working with Bryson to set her up. She knew that was something I wasn't doing.
So unfortunately, listening to everything that Chef had to say, it sounds like she thinks you were capable, unfortunately.
She said I was capable of being in opposition if you heard the clip.
Okay. Because of the entirety of y'all friendship, y'all dynamic, and what she knew of Pink Panther, she did not feel comfortable speaking to your character based on the things she knows personally about you.
Okay, that's fine. If that's the case, why was she speaking to my character when we were cool? Why is it just now she's not comfortable speaking to my character? Like y'all really think that that's true? She fucked with me
I would
for
say y'all, but I'm only speaking to what we heard in the audio because then the question would be why was, like I posed earlier, why was the messages, because that's how all that kicked off, was when y'all private conversation, y'all text messages came to the forefront. Why was that needed to be talked about?
because she was telling people that we had a back end conversation. She was lying about our back end conversations, and then allowing people to think that I was jealous of her and HB's relationship while she knew on the back end that she was setting something up.
Okay, so you were trying to clear up a narrative that was being put out about you.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so that's where, if anybody else, that's where my confusion came in because it seemed like it kicked off when the messages came to the forefront, but now we understand it's because you were blatantly being lied on. Okay.
So so Chef um so Chef was speaking on the character that the character of T that she knew when they was cool, but Chef still had in the back of her mind that T was on some uh, whatever because of she once she found out about the Pink Panther page, and that do make sense as to why the Chef keeps still riding with T if she already had a piece of doubt behind the shit that she did know about her when she found out.
Right, because she
Have
wasn't
another
around when I
question to
created the
pose to
page.
the audience. I did want to know from the audience. I do want to know, based on the audio that we heard from the beginning of the clip, do y'all believe Chef was trying to set HB up? Was Chef trying to set HB up? Smiley face, yes. Sad face, no.
I mean, I feel like if Chef was trying to set her up, she had every right to. Because if somebody put my news on the internet, I'm gonna set you up.
Just be successful when you do so.
That too. But I mean, would she be wrong?
Bella,
I
I
didn't
don't
say
know if
she
you
was.
heard
I didn't say she was wrong or right.
the later clip in that live. Chef did deny all of that until a clip was found and played. And in that clip, Chef was in fact trying to set me up to repeat what I admitted to about selling her nudes online for revenge. And that's when she did take accountability and she said, okay, yes, now I remember T was right. That is what I was doing on the call. So that's why I think that after part was important because she did actually admit to it at that point.
HB is telling the truth.
Okay.
And just being honest, I used to tell T that I felt like Chef was an opportunist during those days.
I still don't feel like she was an opportunist, and I'm gonna stand on that.
But
I feel like
I
she
won't
was my
say.
friend.
But I was saying it was those actions. It was that type of stuff. Like if I'm like, if Chef don't trust T, why she still with us? So opportunist
Well,
definitely
I
the
agree
wrong
with
So
that
word.
part
can I
because
Yeah,
please
that's what I'm saying.
pose another
Opportunist wrong
question?
word.
So since the audience believed that Chef was trying to set HB up, HB, do you believe that Chef was trying to set you up?
Yes, I have no choice but to believe that Chef did admit that in that live later on in that live.
Now I have a follow-up question. Set you up to do what exactly? What
She was
exactly
setting,
was set up?
so she was setting exactly what T had originally the clip that would have happened before that led up to her telling us about the Pink Panther page. She was setting me up on Kiana's panel to, I guess she was recording, is what she was telling T. She was recording, getting me to repeat that I sold her nudes as revenge. That was the setup that Tyme was referring to. Chef was saying pretty much no, it was not. That was not the case. I was not even talking about HB. But when we found the clip and they played it, Chef said, "Oh yeah, now I remember. That's what I was doing. That's what she was
So,
doing."
so for you to admit that you put her explicit photos out there,
Yes, to revenge porn.
what was supposed to happen next once you admitted it?
I'm not sure.
It would be grounds for a lawsuit, Judge.
Okay, so
Not really. The videos was my property at that point, in the pictures.
Well, then that would not be grounds, Judge. That was ownership and property of said person that posted.
okay, so since we having the conversation, and I'm seeing some things in the audience, do Chef have a case against HB pertaining to her explicit photos being shared without permission? Smiley face, yes. Sad face, no. Do Chef have a case against HB?
Question is, since Chef was saying basically that she wasn't trying to set Heartbreaker up, right? And then it came out later that she was. So all this could have been avoided if Chef just would have been honest to begin with.
yeah, so it's a deflection. But that's why I told her to put it on the
Yes, it
floor.
would have never led up to the following thing that happened with the whole Pink Panther thing coming out. Absolutely. That's true. That's what got us off track. And I'll repeat again in 4K with 2.9K people in here. The videos and the pictures from the Discord that I screenshotted, the Discord that I was in under a disclaimer that I still have the disclaimer recorded. I did in fact sell and even give away for free on Instagram and Snapchat of Chef Foxy's coochie.
Okay. Thank you for that confession.
I'm done.
Shout out to Usher. So respectfully, with the audience understanding that, we can understand why it is confusing as to why Chef would want to be around HB again. Because respectfully, HB, you didn't care then. It sounds like you still have the same stance now.
And can I say something?
You may.
Going back to the character thing, like I said, she could feel how she want. I would understand that. She never said nothing to me about it. Even when we were going to the gala, she never said, hey, you know what I'm saying? You going to this gala knowing you used to be behind the page? Nothing like that. She never cared. That was never a concern of hers. She never gave a fuck. Like I said, when she became back cool with HB, she didn't tell HB, hey, I was on the back end sending messages to Patty Roll, do, when we wasn't fucking cool. Should I have told Diamond? Absolutely. I absolutely should have told her. There's a lot of things that people do when they beefing that they don't tell each other when they get cool. I didn't do nothing to Diamond while we was cool, but I should have told her. I wasn't in her face when none of this stuff was going on. I wasn't her friend when none of this stuff was going on. There was a lot of things that were going on in our friendship I didn't know about, and I found out online. I found out a lot of stuff that I didn't know online. I told her who I was when I met her. I told her what I did when I met her. The things that she did, I didn't know nothing about none of that stuff. I had to find that out. She had to find nothing out about me.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Prince.
I have a question. So, Heartbreaker, when you and Chef got back to a good point, did she come out and tell you that she was messaging Petty Rowe? Like, how did you find that out? Did she come and tell you?
Found out? No, she did not. As a matter of fact, yeah, I won't get into that. But I found out by way of Nitra's court, and Petty Rowe appeared on Nitra's court, and she showed all the receipts of her and Chef's messages, and Chef encouraging her to say like essay things and stuff like that. Sorry, guys, my stomach is growling. I'm fasting. To say like throw up her essay in her face, or say this about her kids, or say this about that. I didn't see that until when me and Chef was like, quote unquote, cool. When I was on my mission. So I did present that to Chef, and Chef's like, I forgot about that. And then it went from I was on a mission regardless, but that was definitely good.
So speaking to character, so it was alleged that it was Tyme and Chef that sent your information over to Nitra. Is that true, T? Did you have any involvement in that?
I got a clip of that. I got all of that. I posted that video when Tyme and Chef went over to Nitra's live. Chef said that she got everything. She said she had somebody working for TikTok about reporting a page. She got all the information on HB, and she was sending it to her. Nitra said, yeah, send it to me. And Chef said, I don't have your number. And then she said, yes, I got your number. Then when she was on the phone with Nitra said, oh my God, they have way more than me. So when Chef was saying yesterday that she only had one page, in 4K, it was said that they gave her way more than Nitra had. And I had a video of the audio of them saying that. So
Bella,
the other day was still more lies being told.
Bella, Nitra told me herself, Tyme nor Chef gave them nothing. As a matter of fact, she had way more.
I have it.
Okay, and
I'll send it to you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I don't think neither one of us had.
So they're lying.
I didn't have nothing to do with it, and I don't think Chef had anything to do with it either.
Right. Nitra said the stuff she got from somebody else, and Nitra had more extensive stuff than T or Chef had even been privy to. And it wasn't
Well,
even that.
people were lying on 4K then, as usual, because on my video, I have Nitra saying that, and I have what Chef said in that live.
It could be possible that Chef maybe was protecting
Talking.
somebody that she may have knew had the
She was
information.
protecting Cyber Diaries. She was talking to Cyber Diaries off
I can remember
a
the
group
name.
chat.
Yeah, yep, that's
And
who it
Cyber
was.
Diaries gave her all HB's information. That's where it came from in that group chat as well. Then Chef gave it to Nitra, which
Oh,
Nitra already
And
admitted to.
Cyber confirmed that. Cyber did come up and confirm.
oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's why it's important for the OGs to stick around a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, there's a
But
lot of things that were going on that I didn't know.
That's
Like I didn't know
that's
there were
why
text messages going on in the back end. I didn't know there was a lot of stuff going on in the back end until Doomsday.
that's why Cyber Diaries did not want you to be friends with Chef anymore, and she got upset with you and talk about she had anxiety.
okay, so when it comes to character, it just appears as though bottom line that Chef couldn't speak to it. I'm quite sure Chef is not looking for you to speak to her character either, Tea Time.
I understand that, but I'm still stand on who I am. I don't think she was an opportunist. I don't think she was faking a friendship. I think things changed. So it is what it is.
But I mean, okay, so you
It
said
looked like
you don't think that she was an opportunist or anything, but you did just say shortly after that Chef was pretty much moving in ways where she was doing things behind the scenes where her character should be in question too. You just said that.
That don't mean she was an opportunist to me in my friendship.
both of y'all was giving each other a clean slate.
Yes.
Okay. Do anyone else on the panel have anything for T before she goes?
I do have a question for Tea Time. Tea Time, do you think that after a friendship is dissolved, that there still needs to be some form of loyalty?
Here's the thing. I've learned this a long time ago. If I give you something, you have the right to do whatever you want to do with it. I gave her some information about me, something that I had experienced, something that I had done. If she wanted to get that to somebody else, that's on her. I didn't expect her to hold that. But if she held it because she wanted to, right? I'm not mad at her. I'd rather you not hold things over my head. If you feel like you gotta hold something over my head, just go ahead and let it go. Go ahead and tell it. So when it comes to secrets and all that shit, if you gonna tell something I told, that's on you, whether we friends or not. So I can't say what loyalty is to everybody. I still ain't told a lot of stuff that she's told me. I still ain't and I still won't.
Okay, but I will say this: when you was reading or you was referencing the messages, you said you dare her to lie because you was willing to show the messages. So,
It was after our friendship. Those messages were sent to me after she made it very clear we were no longer cool.
so at this point, is it fair to say that everything is fair game?
The messages that we had were after our friendship. That was in December. Those were after she made it very clear we are not friends.
She's
So
saying that
you're
she
so you're
exposed what came
so you're
after,
saying
but
in
what
this
came
moment
before,
that
she's still gonna
so
be
you're
loyal.
saying in this moment that Chef don't have
My
to
bad.
worry about you repeating messages that y'all had during the friendship. You're saying
No,
you're not going to do that.
no, I don't got no reason to. Only way I'm gonna use any messages is if I'm defending myself, not to deflect. What I said in that message was not to deflect. When I brought out those messages, it was not to deflect or throw her under the bus. It was in defense of myself. She did not tell my secret because of defense of herself. She did it to deflect what she did.
Do you feel like it's necessary to defend yourself to anyone on this app at all?
I feel it's necessary to defend yourself when you feel like you need to defend yourself.
Do public opinion matter to you?
If I have a public support, it should matter to if my supporters need answers. If I'm talking to my supporters and something happens, don't I owe it to my supporters to tell them the truth or to be accountable?
Do you seek validation from this app?
It's not about seeking validation, no. But I do owe it to my supporters to stand on who I say I am. If I have something in my past that I've done and they find out about it, I can lie about it or I can stand on it and be accountable for it. It's not about validation. It's about showing a change. It's about being consistent in the change.
So I guess my question that I am trying to understand when it comes to UT is that if your supporters have been around you long enough to learn who you are as a person, why feel the need to explain yourself to them when they should know what you would and wouldn't do?
Because it's the right thing to do if I want to. I mean, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, yes, this is what happened. This is what, I don't think it's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, have you experienced where you're telling the truth in this situation and they still deem you a liar?
Yes, but that don't mean I tell.
Okay. I say all that to say, I guess, because I usually leave a message for people. I guess my message is these people are going to feel how they feel regardless it's the truth or not. We have already witnessed where you can be telling the truth and people will still run with the lie regardless. So as long as your supporters and followers understand who you are, there's nothing to explain in my opinion. But if you feel the need to do it anyway, that is a choice.
Bella, can I ask you a question? For the jurors, aren't the jurors supposed to ask questions? Like, we not allowed to ask questions?
The jurors is supposed to pose questions, yes. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. I thought so because first professional commenter said that I'm not supposed to. I just was confused. Thank you.
Or a mass amount of people. I don't know. I feel like I owed it to Diamond too. Like if it came out, I might as well just, like I didn't know how to tell her. I'm glad it's out, but I owed it to her to stand in it too and apologize to her. Regardless of what happened to me, I still owed it to her to apologize to her for my point, for my behavior.
Okay, see, I got a question for you. Um, Once you released the information that you were Pink Panther to Chef, did anything in the back of your mind ever think that maybe she'll release this on Mad Day? Are you really,
Yeah,
trusted?
I do. Yeah, I did. That's why I told
Okay.
her to do it. I knew exactly what she was talking about. That's why I told her to put it on the floor.
And that's something that we all do as content creators when we start developing bonds with each other. We pin the red flags to the back of our minds always. Correct, T?
Yeah, but I didn't think that was a red flag. I didn't think she was. If I, you, if
But once you
today, I knew she
yeah,
was gonna do it.
sorry.
But did I know she was gonna do it? Did I know it's possible people would know who that page was? Yeah. When I talked about it, I knew people knew who. Some people knew who the page was. Some people didn't. A lot of my supporters have only been around for 2 years. They wasn't around back in 2023, but a lot of them been around since day one. Some people knew, some people didn't. But I didn't think, no, when I told her that I think it was going to be something, she was going to be like, oh, I'm going to hold on to this. But it's always a possibility that whatever you tell somebody, they going to tell somebody else.
May I
And
ask a
do
question?
you hold on, I got
I'm
one more
sorry.
part.
I'm sorry,
And
Foxy.
T, earlier you did mention you gave your answer, but I want to reflect back on that. Do you think that there's still more in Chef Foxy's vault for you?
No, that's why I told her to put it on the floor.
I had a question. Um, what was the reason that you and Chef originally fell out? Like, was it because of the thing that happened with Q on her panel where
No,
he exposed himself? Okay.
no, because when she said that, Proxy played some clips. He made it seem as if we fell out in February. Proxy played clips. She was still around, very active, very cool in February. So if she fell out, I didn't know she fell out. I didn't know she fell out with me until HB. I knew that she was doing things. I knew that she had built another relationship. I knew that she was getting her books released. I knew she was moving to the DR. So I knew she was busy. But she still have yet to say what I actually did to her. She has yet to say that. Even when they asked her that day, she said that she was mad because I let HB tell what she said about me in the recordings. I mean, in the text messages.
Thank you.
Time.
Yes, I did make an AI song for it. I played it on my platform already.
AT, I'm one of your supporters, and my question is, you keep saying that most definitely you owed Diamond an apology, which is true.
I owe
Um,
everybody apology that got blamed. I mean, I didn't blame nobody. I didn't. I honestly really
wait a
believe that.
minute. Wait a minute.
Okay, I owe everybody apology for the haters.
Okay, true. But I think specifically the people that were actually accused. I did see that who is that? $2 did mention that to you, but I think publicly you should address $2, well, the nine, and we just heard about Angel, those specifically because those really got targeted because of that action. And I did hear you say you didn't know that they were being accused, but now that you know, I think a real apology, the same way that you did for Diamond, should go to these people that took that for so long.
I did for the haters. I did it yesterday on Friends with Attitude Live, and I did it on my live yesterday as well. And I'll do
Okay, I
it.
didn't see it. I'm sorry.
I apologize to everybody that was affected in the Pink Panther. Because I have to say everybody. Because tomorrow somebody else going to come out.
At least it's safe to say that T has always said, if I have to go there, I'm gonna go below the pits of hell to the center of the core of the earth. T been taking accountability for not wanting to be that. I can't believe I'm doing this shit.
Because it's the truth. They acted like they surprised.
Right, and that's why it's like, god damn, you know.
I'd like to
If
ask
y'all
a
ma-
question.
y'all made her take it there.
No, I'm gonna let the ladies go first.
Blaze, you said you had a question.
I was gonna say, go ahead. I was just saying that
Somebody,
basically warning came before destruction, and shit, T, fuck, she ain't wrong here. She told you motherfuckers this is what she'll do if she gotta do it.
So excuse me, Blaze, you said you had a question.
sorry, Gabe, doing the most. All right, so I remember you saying that you have text messages still between you and Chef. So Chef doesn't have any more ammo on you. Does that mean you have more ammo on her that you will not even speak on?
I ain't got no
You don't
ammo.
have to answer the question. You can say comment.
I don't look at what we talk about in our friendship as ammo. That's not how I look at it. If you tell me something, that's not ammo to me.
Wrong choice of words then. I'm going to say, if you wanted to speak on something, Chef, to her character that would make her look bad, but you won't. But are you saying that could be a possibility? Like I said, you don't have to answer. You can just say no comment. 'Cause we've been here before.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that I think in our friendship there was things that happened. There was things that I found out that she was doing that I didn't know she was doing. There was things that I do know. But I don't know if it's not something I'm gonna, no, ain't nothing. Cause it ain't nothing no. What happened? If I felt like she was doing something wrong and I didn't tell her out my mouth, hey, you wrong for this shit. And now I come out here and I tell y'all, hey, guess what? She was wrong for this shit. What better am I? Like, on
That's
some
what
real
she
shit.
did to you. So I guess that would apply to her as well.
So I guess my question is, the only way we'll expect you to speak up on anything or show messages when it or any type of receipts when it comes to Chef is if you are put in a predicament where you feel the need to defend yourself.
And to defend myself on who I am. on who I've been to her. And what she, like, that would be, it wouldn't be to use it to have a mad day. I did mention she was setting HB up. This is not in doing our friendship. That's the part that y'all keep missing. He sent that message in December.
So T, do you recall when Chef was saying that she felt like she took a lot of hits because of how she was portrayed publicly when she was supporting your platform?
That has nothing to do with me, how people work. People fight just like we all take hits. Just like Blaze take hits for you. Just like Frankie takes hits for you. When
Can
you
I
are supporting
elaborate on what
someone,
I'm talking about?
go ahead.
Okay, so she said when she was supporting your platform, at one point, she used to be directed from you on the back end to go in there and help regulate the space, which made people assume that she was trying to be an opportunist and was centering herself and was mean to your supporters. All the while, she was instructed to do that.
That is not correct. She
So that is
told
a
me,
lie. Okay.
if you need me, let me know. I would text her because she has started doing things. She has started running her platform. She has started doing books. She has started battling. So when she would say, if you need me, let me know. When she would get there, my supporters and everybody in here would tell you, when they would blame her, I would say, I asked her to come. I always let it be known, I asked her to be here.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, that's just where, like we said, the conversation of character, it just appeared as though that Chef was saying that her character was tainted to protect yours. And you're flat out saying that's not true.
It's not. If anything, my character was tainted when it came out that I was defending somebody who was letting people talk about me behind my back. That would mean my character was tainted when I was sitting there standing 10 toes down, saying she would never do that. When it happened with G.I. Jane, and then somebody else to come forth and say she did it with them. Wouldn't that be my character or discernment?
Discernment, more so. Um, G.I. Jane, it's funny you mentioned that. So when G.I. Jane came to you saying that she was told things about you from Chef, are you stating in this moment that those things that were said were true? That
I don't believe that. Okay, I don't believe that she was talking about me with G.I. Jane, but I do believe she was talking about me with HB. Because with G.I. Jane, she was willing to go to bat for herself and for what she said to G.I. Jane. With HB, she wanted to do everything on the back end. She wasn't as confident. With G.I. Jane, she was standing 10 toes in it. No, I didn't. She was going to bat for it. HB, not so much. She was just like, let's just do this on the back. We don't have to do this on the front. And I'm like, why? It happened.
okay, so I did get a drop for you, Princess. It said, drop Princess, tell her to send an email. Don't know what that was about, but okay.
So can I ask you a
Things that
question?
I believe G.I. Jane was
It
honest
said she
about,
talked to
but not about. It's some things that I do see that G.I. Jane was saying, but not when it comes to us because G.I. Jane didn't really know anything about me. Like, that's why and this is why I say I know that I told y'all, there's things that Chef did know that I knew for a fact she didn't tell G.I. Jane because G.I. Jane would know that. That would be one of them, the Pink Panther page. There's something else that people don't know. Now, is it detrimental to anybody else? No, but it's my business. There are things that's my business that people don't know that she knows. And she hasn't told my business to other people.
She might ask you. I don't know if they asked
I'm
you
gonna
this
ask her
already,
something real
but
quick. See, when you see me and Chef's dynamic now, what do you see? Like, what do you think it is?
I don't know. Initially, I didn't. You mean now?
Yeah, right now.
I don't know. Initially, like when she said the message and she said, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I felt like she had a plan.
G.I. Jane, are you in the audience?
Now I think once y'all became close, I think that plan was put to the side. And I think that she rather the friendship with you than to seek out the plan.
And then I want to ask T, what what reason do you think she deflected with the Pink Panther situation in the conversation that y'all was having?
Because she knew what she said in the message. She knew who she was talking about. She knew I was telling the truth. And she kept telling y'all I was manipulating it. But it can't, y'all use that manipulating word real easy when it comes to trying to make people think that I'm manipulating y'all to believe something, but it comes out in the recording that I was telling the truth.
Okay, so I think that's where the conversation gets mixed up. Chef was saying you were being manipulative in the moment of making it seem like everyone knew that you were Pink Panther, that Diamond knew that you were
No,
Pink
she was saying
Panther.
it before that. She was saying it when I was reading the messages. And she kept saying, this is why I don't do this. This is why I don't do this. You can't tell me what I was talking about. You can't tell me what I was talking about.
Okay, so yeah, maybe I heard the audio wrong. Because the audio is long as hell, respectfully. A lot was said. Speaking of G.I. Jane, Jane is in the panel. Jane, your name was brought up. So
Hey, Bella.
you mentioned that Chef was talking to you about T, but T does not believe that that happened.
Yeah, I mentioned a while ago, this was now it's years now, but the first time I heard about T and a trip and she couldn't go and she was crying and Chef Foxy didn't have enough money for herself because she lost her job because of her health conditions, but she was still getting on the plane to go see T to go and console her. After that, it was conversation between me and another person that's not on the app no more. I will either be on the iPad or iPhone. She would have the other person on her other device, and she'll be talking to both of us. It was more things that she told to another person, but when I first went to $2 Live, I mentioned to Tea Time that I was not willing to talk about that on the app because I didn't know if it was true or not. So that's why I sent it to somebody she said was her brother. I sent a message to him so then he can go and talk to Tea Time, because why would I sit there and relay information I don't know is correct or not? So I know if it got to me, because I don't go live, it's all over the app. That's what I said in $2 Live. It's all over the app if it got to me.
Okay. So my question again, Tea Time, why didn't you believe what G.I. Jane had to say? What was the reason that you had doubts?
I just didn't believe she was talking about me behind my back.
Okay. So 2 years later, she still have the same stance that the things that were said about you were said. And so you still have the same stance, in other words?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything that she said about me. That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard nothing that she said about me.
G.I. Jane, you never provided proof of the things that was said to you.
No, because it was all on the phone and I don't record messages or I don't really text like that. And I definitely don't record phone calls. Like that wasn't my thing. So, I mean, I didn't know about her dynamic of what was going on in her crib, outside her crib, until it was divulged to me. And it was about a few other people on the app that Chef was divulging information to me about, and to a few other people. When Tea Time first heard about it, it was supposed to have been a skit that was out of somebody else's mouth. That was not what I was stating. I stated what I stated. But I did tell Tea Time, no, I was not comfortable informing what her lifestyle could or could not be like on an app. That's why I decided to relay the message to somebody she said she was cool with, to go ahead and talk to her about the things that was being said from her friend. But then that got brought to the app as, oh, well, you didn't know that such and such, my brother. I didn't give a fuck. My job in that situation, or what I thought my job was to be, knowing that T is a black woman and I'm also a black woman, was to sit down and inform her of what was going on behind her back. If it was true or not, it didn't matter to me whether it was true or not. It got back to me. So I thought, well, hey, I should go and inform, but I wasn't cool with Tea Time. I wasn't her friend or nothing like that.
So
She was
you
just
thought she
somebody
was
on the app.
doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's why I didn't put it on $2 Live. She kept saying, well, throw it out there, put it out there. I'm like, no, I wouldn't want my information to be out there. If it was true or not, I wouldn't want it to be out there. So I'm going to use discernment and I'm going to say, no, I'm going to hit you up on the back end or find somebody else and I'll inform you there. But then it came back to that.